Hello and welcome to another ride video. Today we've got two pretty nice hills. Plenty of downhills for us to enjoy along the way, but did a good amount of cutting on this one, trying to experiment with different editing styles just to see what works best for these ride-along videos, but I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. A little behind the scenes, had about an hour and a half of footage turned into about 15 minutes. So, we're starting off with one major downhill. Get a lot of speed here. And then it leads into a solid uphill before our first climb, or rather during the first climb, right in the beginning. The bike chain was nice enough to skip on us and it almost led to a nice little wreck. But that's more my problem than yours. That was something that wasn't cataclysmic, thankfully, but as you can see coming up this nasty hill, it's great for going down, but as we'll figure out in a few minutes, not that great for going back up. That was not the original plan, but that's definitely what ended up happening. But we're coming up on the bottom of this first hill. It was a blast to ride down. Haven't been this way in a very long time. And that's for a very specific reason. This hill coming up is a monster. But thankfully, it's an enjoyable climb. Had to handle it in first, but as you can see, that incline gets insane. It's around probably 15%. Minimum. Not the whole way. It does level out a little while, for a little while halfway up. But it's not an easy one. It's in no way an easy one. But the goal stays the same here. Gonna try and hit it as hard as we can. Doing this while sitting the entire time is virtually impossible for where I am right now. But the goal is to improve to the point where I could eventually hit this sitting down all the way in first, and then possibly even raise the gears. But that'll take some technique work. I really need to learn to lift my feet up off of the pedals. I have a nasty habit of pushing down on the opposite side from what I'm trying to actually climb on. But as we finish this climb, we're going to enjoy a nice downhill on the second, or at the start of the second hill, rather. So enjoy the rest of this climb, and I'll be right back with you.
There's the peak. There she is. Thank the Lord.
And after we finish that climb, we get a beautiful scenic view. The Pennsylvania countryside is always nice to appreciate when you have the chance, but what you're missing are all of the nasty downhills and uphills leading up. And right here was where I made a promise.
I ain't climbing that again.
Oh, if only I knew the pain that I was about to go through. Poor naive child, huh? I was even planning on going past it. But as you'll see shortly, we ended up turning around because for some reason I like pain and suffering. So we're going to hit this downhill nice and fast. And at the bottom, almost lose control because of the train tracks at the bottom. But thankfully, no one died today. So we're just going to appreciate this downhill, and then that first downhill is going to become our greatest nightmare as an uphill. Thankfully, the strategy for this hill's nice and simple, just the same thing as before. We're going to hit it in first and climb our way all the way up. Thankfully, no gear jumps like before on the first climb, but yeah, right here's where I just decided to make an awful decision and turn around to take the hill, but that's what ended up happening, and I think it led to a much better ride, much more entertaining. I've never hit this hill going down. I've only ever climbed this hill, so I thought it was a very entertaining ride. But let's get into this downhill. We're going to hit it nice and fast, be able to enjoy it and not wreck at the bottom. Always something to enjoy there.
Come on.
after all of that, our reward is one more pretty simple uphill that just leads into a nice cruise into the end of this ride. Thankfully, this house's dog didn't decide to give chase. Chased me on my run today. It was wonderful. But beyond that, we're gonna get some nice scenic shots of the river coming up. And then we are going to log this one in the books. Just remember to always enjoy the quiet moments. You never know how long they'll last or when the next one might ever show up. Look around for a little while and thank you for joining me for this ride. I know it wasn't the longest one, at least post cutting all the fun flat parts out, but I hope you were all still able to enjoy them a little bit. And after that small moment of rest, we climb our last hill and we log this one in the books. Thank you very much for joining me for this ride. Please shoot a comment my way if you can think of any way to improve this content, and think of subscribing if you would like to join me for the next one, because boy, will there be a lot. We're looking to train for Ironmans and triathlons, so if that's something that you're interested in, then go ahead and join us. Thank you for following along, and I will see you in the next one.